All right, so yesterday I went old school as a reporter, journalist. Matt Levine, welcome to a late night special right here on the 954sports.com YouTube channel. Thanks for paying a visit. I welcome you, and I welcome you to check out all the various videos if you haven't done so thus far. This one in particular is about doing man on the street interviews. What's that, you ask? Well, I will explain. And by old school, I mean it's simply the purest form, I'd say, of journalism in a sense. You see the caricature right there. I knew I wouldn't say that right. I'm not going to try again. You see it right there, the picture, right? I want it so bad. But anyway, you just taking a mic and this is the guy right here, me. You're taking the mic and you're sticking it in someone's face, and you have a subject, you have an agenda, what you'd like to speak about. But the main objective is to be objective and just get people's opinion. Of course, I'm a believer in freedom of speech. I've been able to carve out for a portion of my life a career as a journalist and craft my trade. And the belief in freedom of speech is what keeps my belief in the red, white, and blue. Look at that beautiful picture. So you take your mic and you go ask persons in the general public. First, you kill them with kindness and you say, my name is so-and-so. In my case, my name is Matt Levine with 954sports.com. I am here today. I was spritzing yesterday, a lot of sweat, about 100 degrees, kicking up with the humidity in the 90s yesterday here in South Florida. But I'm with 954sports.com. I wanted to see if you do a quick interview. I'm doing interviews today with folks and looking for their feedback, and I'm asking them about sports and culture. I'd like to find out what your thoughts are on, for instance, about kneeling, standing for the National Anthem. Would you join me for a brief interview? And that's it. You sit back, you listen. It's not about my opinion. It's about their opinion. And they're exercising their rights and their freedom of speech. As an American, they're kind enough to give me their thoughts, which I appreciate, whether they're coming from the left, the right, the middle. Who am I to judge? I just want to learn as an American about another person's opinion. And this was absolutely one of the basic fundamental foundational exercises you do as a journalist. At least I did when I got my Cummins uppins, right? I'm just full of them tonight, but I want to hear. Walter Cronkite School of Mass Communication, Arizona State University. I learned from great professors. Taught you to be fair, to be objective, to listen to both sides. Do point, counterpoint. Have respect for someone else's opinion, whether you agree with it or not, but use your ears, use your mind, listen, process, ask probing questions, be inquisitive, be respectful, be mindful. A lot of what I think we're not seeing today, unfortunately. Now, this is what they got going on in Arizona. This is the Walter Cronkite School of Journalism now in West Phoenix, not on the main campus in Tempe where I went. That's the New Age joint. I want to go check it out someday. But yesterday, I was crafting my trade. And I headed here to lovely, and when I say lovely, it's one of the great places, I think, in South Florida. Lauderdale by the sea. On the A1A. It embodies all the charm and feel of a small, quaint beach town just on the outside of this once booming commercial hospitality, tourism, a bed of, just incredible volume. Things are quieted with COVID, but this is a little nook in Fort Lauderdale that's just great. And the beaches, of course. As they say, to die for. No doubt about that. So yesterday, I headed out. I wanted to talk to folks about that very topic that I broached moments ago, that you saw in the title for my YouTube video. I wanted to talk about, excuse-moi, what people thought of politics, social issues, creeping into sports nowadays and superseding the sport itself and the game, and what people thought in particular about not such a new topic by now. I mean, it's been one that's been dissected, investigated, beaten and turned inside out and upside down. My mind's everywhere, including yours truly. What they thought about kneeling opposed to standing for the national anthem. Again, yesterday, it was all about, or I should say Sunday, it was all about gathering folks' opinions. And me, just listening and sharing these opinions, some voices of America with you. I gathered 4 opinions yesterday that I want to share with you, as I excuse myself again. What happens is I take some of this equipment to go out in the field, right? Like yesterday, and then when I come back and reassemble it, you just got wires everywhere, and I'm fixing stuff on the fly. Just goes with the turf, so to speak. But got 4 interviews, including a 5th interview with the end, their piece, segment, cast with a fluff story, right? And I've got one of those for you, so stand by. But without further ado, I'm just going to roll the interviews. 4 different folks, they all happen to be men, different ages, different, I would say, different views completely. To each his own. This isn't about my view. The rest of the near whatever 300 videos that I have up there, something like that, they're pretty much opinion based. The majority are. But this is about America's feelings. And I was able to gather a handful of them about the subject again of politics entering sports, along with social issues, the kneeling, not kneeling. So the first interview I'm going to share with you, this is a gentleman, his name is Avi. Avi is from Chicago. He was in South Florida for a visit, and we had a chance to talk. So take a look and listen.
The foundation of sports, the culture of sports. My best memories are going to Wrigley Field and Soldier Field with my pops, but I do think over-politicizing has hurt this. I don't want to turn on ESPN and watch about the kneeling. Personal political beliefs are awesome, but it does detract from the sport when that's the main focus. You spend the first 20 minutes of the game harboring these firebrand and these controversies, and then when we start playing, the game's already forgotten.
Yeah.
So it does affect it a lot for me negatively.
And there you have it from Avi. Avi makes a valid point, right, of how he feels about it, and gives you really concise, short, sweet, thoughtful thoughts in a nice manner. Avi was with Jake, by the way. Big old dog. Cool looking dog. Looked like I didn't ask him what Jake was. Like a shepherd mix, champagne colored, with a University of Michigan collar. So I knew, not a Wolverine, a dog, but a Wolverine fan, so to speak. And Avi, again, from Chicago, Cubbies fan, talking about some of his great memories. And what he thought about sports, right? Next, I'm going to share with you an interview with David. David told me he was a soccer fan. He's from Boca. Soccer fan, basketball, baseball, football, the primary sports in North America. Well, the 4th would be interchangeable as soccer, hockey. But nonetheless, I just asked him that question. What do you think of politics and sports? The kneeling, does it affect you? Take a look and listen.
Not at all. I'm honestly just here for the sports. Politics can just put it on the side while I'm watching it. I'm just there for, goals, touchdowns, field goals, and hole-in-ones. That's what I'm here for. Not at
Well said. Of two, 50-50. One didn't like the influence of politics, the social issues, making their way into sports and the landscape and affecting the game, while you heard from David, doesn't really care, just wants to see the action. Respect both opinions wholeheartedly. It's interesting, as I talk here, and I showed you where I went to college, the Walter Cronkite School of Journalism. Just a quote to share with you, right? Objective journalism and an opinion column are about as similar as the Bible and Playboy magazine. It's absolutely true. When you go out and collect a story, you do the simple exercise of man on the street. They call it MOS. You remain objective, right? Opinion-based type of journalism, which I gave you a lot, as I said before on my videos here. There's the equations right there. Walter Cronkite, may he rest in peace. The old school journalist. Far cry from the new school journalist. It's a whole brave new world, and I use the term brave lightly in a lot of senses. Let's move on with the interviews. Now, I'm going to give you two more. The next gentleman is Jay. You're going to see Jay's name scrolled with the organization he works for. I told him I'd give him a plug. Sounds really cool. I'm going to roll his interview, and then we're going to save Joseph, put him batting cleanup because he had a lot to say. So we got Jay, I believe he's from Boca, and then Joseph from Fort Lauderdale. And then we're going to bring you a champion canine to wrap it up. So without further ado, let's take a listen to Jay and his perspective on what he thinks about the political, social issues in sports, in particular to the kneelers against the folks who stand for our national anthem here in the United States.
I'm with the guys that are taking a knee. I think they're putting their career and their fortunes on the line for something they believe in. They're getting no personal benefit out of it whatsoever. It's obviously recently become evident that it's a potentially massive, pervasive issue. And personally, I love America, and I'm a very loyal citizen of the United States of America. But I think that if we're not able to look ourselves in the mirror and point out our shortcomings because that's critical in America, that compromises the integrity of what it is to be the United States of America.
All right. So there you heard from Jay. Interesting take on it as well. So far, all three of these gentlemen, and they were all very nice. I had a chance to speak with all of them off camera, and all seemed, you can usually tell when you walk up to someone, at least, they all seemed very educated, very nice, had manners, completely heard me out, and were able to comply and do an interview with me. So far, all of them very intelligent opinions shared with me. And last but not least, Joseph, he's got a lot to say. And he's got an interesting take on it himself. And again, it's finding out what America has to say about the issue of politics and social issues climbing into the world of sports, along with the issue of kneeling and standing for the United States national anthem. So here's Joseph from Fort Lauderdale, and here's take. Let's take a look and listen.
In bringing politics or social issues,
I will not watch any sport. I don't care who it is, but if they don't respect the flag of the United States of America that's allowing them to play as a free person, they don't understand these people. They're ignorant. They don't understand what it means to have a republic, a democratic representative republic. It's the rule of law. Liberty and her republic matter more than the virus, matter more than everyone's life, including mine. Liberty is what's most important. If you want to live without liberty, that's not living. There's only one team that I'm going to maybe watch.
Who's that?
And that's the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, which I never took an interest in before, and I didn't have a team. But I was watching those Patriots because Brady was on here.
Yeah.
He was All-American, and none of them guys. But once they started kneeling, I stopped it.
Yeah.
There's no way I'll watch anything that anybody kneels. And NASCAR, I turned NASCAR off because I don't even watch the NASCAR. I won't support the NASCAR because they have the nerve to take the Confederate battle flag away. I'm going to fly this flag, the Confederate battle flag, every day of my life, everywhere I go. You know why? Because those men, women, and children shed blood, sweat, and tears.
What do you think about sports?
I have from Joseph. Another articulate, opinion. And again, I'm not sharing any of my opinions right now. I'm letting you hear the voice of America. That's what I'm doing. I'm just saying the common thread. All four of these gentlemen, they all had complete different views. And I want to let you know, I asked probably, 6 to 10 women. I didn't get one woman who wanted to agree. As soon as I said the word sports, 2 women, one of them said the following: I hope they never return because they cut into the other shows I want to watch. And then the other one said to me, I didn't even know they were back. So, and then a few just declined. So I probably asked about 20, 25 people and was able to get these 4 guys to join me. And again, my opinion right now is on the bench, so to speak. 4 different opinions, passionate in their own right, articulate in their own right, backed up with substance, how they felt. Some more concise than others. But that's America, and I'm just giving you a little taste. I wanted to get out, do some man on the street, and give you a feel of what the folks have to say. That's what it's about. What others have to say, and listening to different voices and processing different opinions. At the end of the day, we all have our right to agree or disagree. But no one should be labeled for having an opinion. Everyone's subjective, I know, to having another opinion, be able to dissect that opinion. And everyone has an opinion and so on and so forth, but you get in the danger zone where, especially as a journalist and a reporter, you can't go out and ask people a question and listen to what they say and comprehend it and simply be a vehicle to report it to you guys. And that's what I wanted to do. I just wanted to share some opinions from some men on the street. So I hope you enjoyed that. Now, I said I was going to end things with the canine on the street. So without further ado, I want to introduce you to Marley. I asked Marley's dad if he wanted to do a sports interview about culture and politics and social issues and kneeling, blah blah blah. He said nope. He said I want to introduce Marley, and if Marley can do an interview with me, then we'll step in front of the big screen. And did they ever? So without further ado, let's end it on a lighter note. I don't think there was a heavy note anyway, but hey, you gotta end it with the dogs, right? I'm a dog lover. If you couldn't tell by now, well, where you been? So listen, look, and meet Marley.
Reporting live from Lauderdale by the Sea with Marley Dominguez, the reigning hot dog champion of Broward County. She's won the Dogtoberfest and Weenie Fest. She is the fastest set of legs in the dachshund community, and we're hoping when all this is over that we can go back to the regularly normal program.
Absolutely. Can we find any information online about her?
Broward Dachshunds or Central Bark. So we're reporting live.
How about that? Molly is my dog, and Marley, right there, was a special dog that I got to meet in the field yesterday, so gotta love Marley. Now that was a hot dog, right? And a Broward County champion. My dog, she's a Shih Tzu mix, and like every dog's champ, right? She's my own champion. What would I do without my dog? Man's best friend, absolutely. I want to thank yesterday Avi, David, Jay, and Joseph for their interviews and for giving me some of their time and sharing their thoughts and giving an opportunity to hear what some voices here in the United States have to say again on the subject of sports mixing with politics, social, cultural issues, and the whole deal about kneeling and standing for the national anthem. So that's a man on the street. I look forward to getting to do more of that. As you can see, I tried to do it in a socially distant manner. I had my mask on, my 954sports.com mask, and I actually took apart a mic stand and made it into what they call a boom mic. So I was able to extend that mic about 4 feet, figure 2 feet on the arms, about 6 feet. Did the best I could. It was the first time I really couldn't do what the caricature, I said I wouldn't say it, I said it again. I wasn't able to stuff the mic in someone's face. That's old school. The new normal is, well, you got to be 6 feet away and have a pole with the mic on the end of it. Is what it is. Anyway, as they say in showbiz and in Hollywood, that's a wrap. I hope you enjoyed the Man on the Street interviews. Much more to come. I'm telling you, I'll come back with the opinions. I got a lot of them, and I've got a lot to share with you here on 954sports.com as the world turns in the world of sports, right?